was like Stacy Dash said that it shouldn't be no BT. Everybody should be Americans. And I was like, if she said that, then I feel like I agree with that because it's only two type of people in life: real people and fake people. They got these people talking about all black, man, Black Lives Matter, man, all lives matter.
Right.
I got my ass whooped
right.
by the police before.
Yeah.
But you know why? Because I was belligerent.
Okay.
I was belligerent and I was conducting myself like a nigger. So I don't feel like Black Lives Matter. I feel like all lives matter. Like Black Lives Matter. I feel like all lives matter. I have to be restrained because I became verbally abusive and I became belligerent.
Yeah, but don't you think that Black Lives Matter isn't just talking about those type of arrests? They're also talking about the kids who are just walking up the street, the guys who are just jogging with the hoodie on, who get assaulted, arrested, shot.
Hold on. Let me show you something.
And I'm talking about people in general.
Look at me.
Okay.
Tattoos in my face.
Okay.
Teardrops in my face. Tattoos everywhere.
Right.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. All over me.
Right.
I'm talking about I fit the description. I fit the description.
Right.
But when I changed the way that I conduct myself, I've no longer had any problems.
It's what Akademiks, and check it out, because I want you guys to stop, okay? You guys just heard that clip, and I don't want you to judge based on that clip because some people will come in here who are Kevin Gates fans. Oh, you guys just put up a clip that made him look bad. Please go watch the full interview. The link is in the description. Believe me, it's even worse than the clip I just played, all right? Now, don't even base your opinion even on my analysis. Watch it for yourself, okay? Now, from what I got from the entire thing when I watched it, basically Kevin Gates is saying Black Lives Matter. We shouldn't be focused on Black Lives Matter. We should be saying all lives matter. Okay, now, if you kind of just analyze what he's saying, there's not really much wrong with it. But then when you take a deeper look into what he's saying, there's a lot wrong with it, okay? Now, he's talking about all lives matter, which that's an obvious thing, okay? We have to put it out there. And the reason why I don't speak too much on Black Lives Matter is that the name has it just so fucked up, okay? When you have either organization or a movement called Black Lives Matter and their only focus is to target police brutality, especially with minorities, it doesn't represent the true goal of the organization. When you hear Black Lives Matter, you start thinking, well, don't Black Lives Matter in Chicago where the savages are gunning down each other? Don't all lives matter? As a matter of fact, when anybody dies, that's a big problem. Why are we only saying Black Lives Matter? So one of my issues, and really, I think really my biggest issue with Black Lives Matter is like the name. You know what I mean? It doesn't correctly pinpoint what the organization is out for, okay? Because we hear these talking points, and listen, I know the fucking talking points, okay? Everybody got these talking points, and that's why you hear anybody debating about Black Lives Matter, they're trying to defend it. They got talking points. There's talking points, okay? If somebody says, well, why does it have to be Black Lives Matter? What about Chicago? Instantly, you're going to jump in and say, well, you don't go to a ALS rally and say, what about cancer? Right? That's a talking point. Okay, that's not an original thought. That's a talking point that everybody uses on Twitter that you're copying, okay? So my real whole thing is that I believe the confusion with some, okay, and maybe some that don't get too deep into it, is the name. Black Lives Matter, when you hear it on face value, you think about life in itself, okay? You don't even think about police, okay? But this organization, its primary goal, at least from what I've seen, is targeting and stopping police brutality. Okay, so when you hear Black Lives Matter, if you're not in tune with the movement, you start thinking about, wait, but this black guy died over here. It had nothing to do with police, but they died over here. So when people come with the talking points like, well, do you go to an AIDS rally and do you say, what about cancer? The real answer is that, well, the name fooled people to think that Black Lives Matter meant more than just about police brutality. Okay? Now, if it was called Police Stop Killing Black People Unjustly, that would completely sum it up. Okay? Now, I just had to go on that little rant because that's really my only issue. Now I understand what Black Lives Matter is about. I mean, the movement's rather massive. You know what I mean? So when I hear people say, or even I heard like some chick, like I believe she was Caucasian, she said, the movement has changed and it's gone negative. I don't think the movement has changed. Once any movement becomes too big, you have the radicalized few. You have the few that are still with the main purpose. Then you have offshoots because the movement's too big for everybody to be focused on the same thing. So some people get more radicalized. Some people care a little bit less. Some people are in the middle. Some people kind of lump in other things. Well, let's lump in the gay and lesbian stuff. So I get it. Okay? But Kevin Gates did not. And he responded in the interview, and he's obviously talking to a interviewer who asked him about Stacy Dash. And he's saying, well, I don't have a problem with what Stacy Dash said because Stacy Dash said, well, all lives matter. And I think all lives matter. Now, the interviewer tried to probe him and say, well, let me explain what Black Lives Matter is. Like, it's really to do with police harassing and also killing black men unjustly. Now, he brought up a point which I definitely disagree with this, okay? He said when he was dealing with the police, okay, and this is true at times, though. I'm not going to say this is completely false. It's true at times, but not true all the time, okay? He said he's been beaten by the police, but he says when he says, quote unquote, he was acting like a nigga. And he says he was acting belligerent, so the police had to do what they had to do, okay? And maybe in that case, and I'm not going to lie, there's a lot of cases where I do see not only people of color, but anybody get very overly aggressive or very combative with the police. And you could know that, hey, yes, the police are supposed to be trained to de-escalate situations. But if you know you don't got a gun and you know your life ultimately rests in that guy's hand, maybe you don't want to be the guy just kind of pushing buttons, okay? So I kind of get that. You don't want to be belligerent, okay? However, in cases where people weren't being belligerent, okay, they weren't doing something that would warrant them getting shot and killed. They were shot and killed. So I completely understand it from that point too, right? So I think Kevin Gates was completely wrong on that. He was speaking for himself, but he tried to make it seem like, hey, well, if y'all don't act like niggas, you won't get killed. That's not the truth, because we've seen cases where that's not happened. Now, he was a little bit right. Again, I'm repeat myself, but still, he was a little bit right, because sometimes people could prevent situations, right? If so-and-so didn't act like so-and-so, maybe when it escalated, we know the police are trained to de-escalate, but you got to be fair too. Okay, now the loss of a life usually changes all that, because once somebody's dead, you could be like, he could have, he should have, but it's gone. So I see a lot of people talking about it. I see people jumping on demonizing him, and I really see it as an opportunity to educate people, okay? And I see a lot of Black Lives Matter people, and I do see actually a good amount of them too. They're trying to educate, but I see some people like, yo, fuck Kevin Gates, he's a coon, this and third. But I see some people trying to educate the masses about the movement. I'm telling you, there's some people that just don't understand Black Lives Matter, okay? Now, there's a problem there. If you deny that there's a problem there, you're either blind, you're not looking at the evidence, and I'm not saying each and every case. I won't even call out specific incidents, okay? But there is a problem where systematically you could say racism or maybe just how they're trained. I don't care what it is. But it's a lot of times police come in confrontations with men of color, and it doesn't go too well. And it could be because of the fear of the officer, could be because maybe the person being pulled over is a little bit frustrated and they act a little bit belligerent. But regardless, we're trying to end it, okay? And Black Lives Matter do serve a part of that purpose. So when I hear this whole thing, and it's back to the talking, I hate the talking points. Oh, you don't go to AIDS rally and say this matters. Man, shut up, man. Listen, the guy just doesn't get what Black Lives Matter is, okay? They're talking about police brutality, okay? So that's why. And at first, when I heard Black Lives Matter, I used to bring up like black on black crime. But once you realize what Black Lives Matter is, it has nothing to do with it. Has nothing to do with it. But the name suggests it has to do with every life mattering for every reason. So that's what it is. Kevin Gates' comments were a little bit flagrant, but I think, to be honest, he was trying to be real to himself in his situation. However, I felt he missed the entire point of the movement and also missed the entire point of actually what's happened in the news and being reported. Actually, some stuff we got on video. So you guys get in the comment box. What do you guys think about this? People are roasting him, but you got to be a little bit honest in your analysis of what he's saying, because he's not saying all lives matter, because some people are like, he's just saying all lives matter to appease his white fans. No, I think he's saying it because he doesn't understand the movement. He doesn't. And that's where you got to come in and educate. Which Akademiks get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like. I hope you guys do take this opportunity to not only educate maybe someone who didn't know, but possibly educate yourself if you have questions. Listen, I've educated myself. I said I won't say I agree with everything the movement or people that claim they're down with the movement do, but the movement and its purpose, as I understand, is one that's definitely trying to address a problem. The name trips me up, throws me off like it throws off a lot of people. But eventually, hopefully with some time, understanding will come about. Gonna call Mark Smith, guys. Like, definitely subscribe to Akademiks. I'm out.